Hi, my name's Eric Jenkins. I'm an attorney here with the Advocates Injury Attorneys. In today's video, we're going to talk about some things that might come up when you're settling your case. Those include new money value versus total money value, who's going to pay your liens once you've settled your case, how to negotiate your liens once the case is settled, and things you might want to look for in the settlement agreement before you sign. So let's get started. Now, there's one term that causes a lot of confusion in settlement discussions, and that's total value settlement offers versus new money settlement offers. Insurance adjusters may throw around numbers that sound attractive, but it's critical to know what those numbers actually mean. Let's start with total value offers. When an adjuster says, "We're offering you $30,000 to settle your claim," they may actually mean that $30,000 is the total value of your case. That includes any costs that have already been paid to the insurance adjuster. That could include your medical bills that have already been paid, PIP costs, any additional liens or costs that have already been incurred. So if the adjuster offers you $30,000 for a total value settlement, but he's already paid $3,000 in PIP reimbursement and $2,000 in medical bills, the adjuster is actually only offering an additional $25,000 to settle. Now let's compare that with new money offers. New money means the amount the insurance company is putting on the table in addition to what they've already paid, or over and above any known obligation. So if they say, "We're offering $30,000 new money," that typically means you get $30,000 on top of whatever's already been covered. That figure doesn't include your prior medical payments or your liability payouts. It's new cash. So what do you need to do when negotiating? Always be clear with the adjuster that you want to discuss new money offers. Ask, is this a new money offer or a total value offer? Don't assume. They might not clarify unless you ask directly. One of the questions I get asked all the time is, who pays my medical bills once I've settled my case? Now the short answer is, you do. One of the main reasons an insurance company wants to settle your case is so they can close out your file. That means that unless special and unusual arrangements are made, you are in charge of paying your medical bills once you sign a settlement. Any future medical expenses will be your responsibility, so be sure the settlement amount is large enough that it can cover any medical care that you think might be necessary in the future. Also, any outstanding medical bills that you've already incurred will be your responsibility. Before you sign a settlement, make sure you know how much you owe in medical expenses. The settlement you negotiate will need to be large enough to cover your outstanding bills. After you sign a release, all of the bills will be your responsibility. All right, so once you've signed the release and received your settlement check, it's time to pay your medical liens. Make a list of your medical care providers and call or email them and ask for your current balances. Once you have the balances, you should try to negotiate them down. It can be uncomfortable to try to negotiate your bills. It's not something that most of us do normally, but your medical care providers do it all the time and they don't mind at all. Call your medical provider and ask for the billing manager or supervisor. Tell them you think you can pay your lien in a week or so if they can reduce the amount owed. You can often negotiate a discount in the range of 20 to 50%, depending on the size of your bill. The medical care provider wants the money as soon as possible, and they're usually willing to take a significant reduction in order to get it, so give negotiation a try. Signing a release as part of a settlement agreement with an insurance company can be a daunting task. The document can be long and filled with unfamiliar legal jargon. However, it's important that you read through it carefully and understand the terms you're agreeing to. Take your time. If there are parts of the contract you don't understand, look them up. It can be really helpful to type confusing phrases into ChatGPT and ask it to explain the legal terminology for you. Obviously, AI is not 100% accurate, but asking ChatGPT to explain this phrase to me like I'm a fifth grader can be very helpful. There are two things you should watch out for when you're signing a release. First, make sure that it lists the correct settlement amount in terms of new money. Like we discussed a minute ago, the difference between total value settlements and new money settlements can be confusing. And second, be aware that the release you're signing is almost certainly a global release. That generally means that you're giving up any claims related to the accident against anyone for any reason. So, if two different drivers were at fault for an accident and you release one of them, it's very possible that the release will also extinguish your claim against the second driver. Similarly, if you have a claim against the driver's employer, maybe for negligent hiring or supervision, releasing the driver will probably release the employer, so be extremely careful when signing a release if you think there are any other parties at fault for your injuries.